Hello everyone, welcome to another top 3 video. Today we're going to talk all about the top 3 White Scars Warlord traits. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell just in the corner so you know each time we release one of these videos. I really hope you're enjoying the content. So let's jump right into it. Today we've got the best 3 White Scars Warlord traits. In at number 3, I've got Hunter's Instincts. Now, for me, Hunter's Instinct is great because at the moment, there are quite a lot of monsters and vehicles in the game that are really tough. And what this Warlord trait does is it allows you to add one to hit and wound rolls against monsters and vehicles. Now, if you look at Tyranids, the builds have got Exocrines in, Hive Tyrants and the Swarm Lord in. That's all monsters. If you look at demons, the Snares, Keepers of Secrets, and Shalaxi, and the Big Bird, the Lord of Change, who's like pretty much unkillable. They're all monsters, so you've got +1 to hit and wound against them. Looking at Marines, you've got Gladiators, the new Land Speeders. There are so many new things coming in the game now that are also vehicles and monsters. So, and obviously with Death Guard, with demon engines coming around and are still really, really tough, especially with Mortarion 2. So all of these things in the meta are really tough to kill, and they're all monsters and vehicles. So that's why I think this Warlord trait is great. The reason why it's in at number 3 is because it only works on monsters and vehicles. So against some armies, it will be pointless. But it's mainly so that you put it on like a captain with a jump pack and a Thunderhammer. Thunderhammer's the best one, I think, because it's flat 3 damage. So you put it on a guy with a Thunderhammer and you use him as a counterpunch against big stuff in your opponent's army. And I think it's best if you use it with a mastercrafted weapon. If you also put a relic on him, mastercrafted weapon, and make his Thunderhammer 4 damage. So even when you go into things like demon engines with disgusting resilient, you're still 3 damage. And then the -1 to hit from the Thunderhammer gets counteracted with Hunter's Instincts. So you're still hitting on 2s even with a Thunderhammer. And then wounding most vehicles in the game on a 2+ as well. So he's super killy against big stuff. In at number 2, I have Master of Snares, just because there are quite a lot of shooting units in the game right now that are incredible, and they put out a lot of firepower. And if you can just get in there with one thing and stop them from being able to shoot, it will, protect the rest of your army for possibly another turn or even 2 in some cases. And it's amazing against things like Tau, Ad Mech, even things like other marine armies where their big punch now is like a unit of Inceptors that drops in from reserve with all the plasma exterminators and blows stuff away. If you charge into them, you use Master of Snares, and what happens is if they attempt to fall back, you roll a dice, and on a 4+, they cannot fall back. So they're locked in combat with you, they can't shoot anything else in your army. So I think it's brilliant for things like that. Then in at number 1, oh sorry, I just wanted to quickly say, the reason why that's number 2 and not number 1, because it has the potential to be game changing. So the reason why it's not number 1 is it happens on the dice roll of a 4+. So there is a 50% chance that it doesn't work, and that's why I've got it in at number 2, because the options it gives you are still incredible. So it has to be either 2 or 1. But the fact that it only goes off 50% of the time, that's why it's in at number 2 for me now. In at number 1, of course, we have Shagorian Storm. Shagorian Storm is epic because very much like the third Warlord trait number 3, Hunter's Instincts, it makes your character even more killy. So this is one that I would recommend again on a guy with a Thunderhammer with a mastercrafted weapon on him as well. So he's doing flat 4 damage, because the reason why this is better than Hunter's Instinct is it works all the time. Hunter's Instincts only works on monsters and vehicles. This just works against anybody. So what Shagorian Storm does is if your Warlord performs a heroic intervention or a charge move, they get +D3 attacks. Now, if you look at a captain who has 4 attacks, he'll still get 5 attacks on the charge for being a Marine, and then he'll get another D3 attacks. So he's averaging 7 attacks. 7 attacks with a 4 damage Thunderhammer. I think that would hurt into whatever you go into. And another way to load him out, actually, if you're going to go down this route and take this Warlord trait, depending on, what's in your local meta or what's in tournaments and what's in the meta at the moment, because the Thunderhammer is absolutely amazing at killing big stuff, vehicles, monsters. So what you can do is you can give that guy 2 Warlord traits, give him Hunter's Instincts, and also give him Shagorian Storm. So he's got the benefits of both. But you could also take the Teeth of Terror, because there are a lot of things in the game right now that are 2 wounds. A lot of Marines, Intercessors mainly, there are that are 2 wounds each, and this is incredible for that. Even Possessed are 2 wounds each now, and this is a great way of dealing with them. What it does is the Teeth of Terror makes you strength 5, and I believe -2, flat 2 damage. But with Trigorian Storm, he's got an average of, like we said, 7 attacks, but then Teeth of Terror also gives him +3 attacks. So you'd have 10 attacks on the charge, flat 2 damage, and flat 3 damage from turn 3 onwards. So I think the Teeth of Terror could be great on a guy with Shagorian Storm, and it's amazing into whatever you go into. So those are my top 3 White Scars Warlord traits. If you have any that are doing really well for you, please leave them in the comments below for everybody to share. And until the next video, guys, see you later.